What's good, YouTube, and welcome to the house. I am once again asking you to make a completely free account over at the LEGO Idea site in order to upvote the Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Magician versus Blue Eye set to become a reality. If you don't know how this site works, basically if this gets 10,000 total supporters, which we got this to its first 1,000 here on the channel, then this will be presented by LEGO to Yu-Gi-Oh! As an IP and be like, look, people really want this. We want to make it happen. And I saw naysayers like Yu-Gi-Oh! Would never go for that. Excuse me, the IP is getting handed out like candy right now, and it's the perfect time. We have brand new plushes like that Rainbow Kribo. We also have them going to all these t-shirt companies. There's like 3 different now. You got Hypeland, which does great work, but then also ones that don't necessarily work always with licensed IPs, getting officially greenlit to do Yu-Gi-Oh! T-shirts. So when I look at this, I see a perfect timing, and they now have a gold sarcophagus base that opens up for you to keep things in. This would be awesome. So let's see it get to over 5,000 supporters. While I am sponsored to actually shout this out, I will be a customer. I will spend my own money on this line should it get made by LEGO. And if you see stuff like this, it has to be made with already existing LEGO pieces. So the finished project will look much better than it currently does. But again, link will be down below. All you got to do is make a free account and then back this completely for free. It costs absolutely nothing. Let's get into today's Market Watch, starting with Hidden Arsenal Chapter 1, having an interesting twist I didn't necessarily expect. I thought the Secret Rares were actually the lowest pull rate in the set, but you only get 1 DT common per pack, so 3 total, and then the entire set's commons can come in DT, creating for some very interesting buyouts like Elemental Hero Shining Flare Wingman, Alley of Justice Cycle Reader, which has had tons of buyouts on its old DT level. Then you also have Neos and other ones, very low listings, instantly targeted like Stratos as well, where people are like, that's a pretty good DT common, and it's so hard to pull. It reminds me a lot of the legendary collections back in the day where the set list is like 255 cards and you have these hard to get things out of like 5Ds or GX like Gallus, or you also have weird Synchron cards that just end up going up, or the Resonator that's still very expensive that only has 1 reprint. So looking through all of this, the Ultras aren't the only place to make future money / the Secret Rares. You also do have the commons being instantly out the gate targeted, and big brain move, gotta give it to you. I would be simping for stuff like Dark Paladin, where every holofoil Dark Paladin eventually seems to become $10 over time. That's where my mind would be. Of course, using that TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra to support the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying if you are going in. But when I'm just looking around, like, there's a lot of opportunity and penny stonks and that sort of thing, yeah, people are piecing up the commons, and that's some interesting movement. Now, OTS Tournament Pack 19 has been announced, and there's some really eyebrow-raising wording. Exclusively to KDE US for this one, and it has not shown up over on the EU site at all. Albaz is also noted to be ultimate rare and be able to combine with cards from the Alba Strike structure deck, leading people to scratch their heads like, wait, does that mean Albaz is going to be missing from the structure itself? I personally don't think you should have FOMO on that one. I think that you should see Albaz in the structure. We never know what the future holds, and if you're really that scared, well, the ultra rare is under $1 right now, and there's 250 on the market, so you can go get your playset for $3 if you're actually shaking in your boots, or you have any inclination that Konami would really do that. How many times have we said, wow, Konami really did that? But if you are actually scared, go ahead and get yours and get them holofoiled. But I don't think necessarily that this line where it says a dynamic monster card that unlocks Relentless Dragon fusions combine with cards from the structure deck Albaz Strike and get ready to duel in style, I don't think that means it's missing. I think it's just poorly written. Now, what people are after throughout this weekend is Guardian Chimera, which has gone way down on the amounts of listings and is starting to slowly curve up back in price. This one, again, people have called it a no-brainer. People have said, yeah, this is way too cheap, way too low, and you're going to play 1 to 2 of them, and I do think a lot of people might end up playing 2. It is an option you want access to if you're considering the Albaz engine, and with that, how many people are going to have that engine with the structure deck, and how thirsty is Battle of Chaos for value. I think a lot of people are going to push this outside of just playability, though, and you're going to have a lot of over-speculation and kind of a run on it at some point, most likely. Yeah, Battle of Chaos, even Illusion of Chaos, which had gone way up in price, has come back down and is now only up like $4 what it used to be, and everything else mostly falling out. Even the Dino Mombi heading back towards like that $10. Fluendaries, the only card that's really stuck up in price along with Zombie Vampire versus the initial outlet, and just tons of cards falling down slowly. But do keep in mind, this is the first set to miss the 2022 Mega Tins and should be poised to be in the 2023 Tins, so plenty of time for this to age. Gem Knight Duelists were rewarded, but for the wrong reason. It's not an archetype in the Earth Duelist pack yet. Instead, Power of the Elements gave it 4 new cards that are actually pretty amazing for OT King, including a kind of searcher for continuous fusion spells. Gem Knight Lady Brilliant Diamond has been bought out here, and oh, we got a light play, moderate play, damaged ones basically appearing back, but right now, near mints seem to be mostly gone, and others going up even further in price than where they once were, but still really affordable if you want to get in on Gem Knights right now for what they are and what they have been in the past when they are hyped. Brilliant Fusion Ultimate Rare getting bought out to a degree, and the secret rares highly speculated on as well. You can get the supers relatively cheap still if you're like, oh, it's actually going to do something on the ban list. Absorb Fusion is another spell card that people are looking at that is getting bought out pretty darn fast here. The lowest listings are $20. So if you have Absorb Fusion in your arsenal, well, you have a card that's worth a little more money than it was yesterday. It's an ultra rare out of Clash, and I don't believe it has a reprint at all. Morphtronics are getting super hyped. If you've looked up the Morphtronic rap here on Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTube, that is an ancient goodie. But you have the cover of the Duelist pack being a Power Tool Dragon, the first archetype inside being Amazonis for the Earth Duelist pack, and that's Legendary Duelist over here in terms of US marketing. I feel like it's a bit of a reach to suddenly go, yeah, Power Tool's going to make Morphtronics go to the next level, but at the same time, it's a funny buyout nonetheless, and we see a lot of preemptive, we've got this little bit of information, we can put 2 and 2 together, it's going to be this? I guess it could be, and they are an Earth, you know, they fit in, it really could be all about them. We'll have to wait and see. Chaos Space is going up slowly in price along with a lot of the Dragon Link stuff that we've been pointing out recently, and a lot of that has gone even further beyond. Man, Charlie, if you kept all of them, you'd be rich. $15 a pop right now, and the collector rare version, even the Unlimited's going up further and beyond almost $100 right there, and the first editions are near $200. The Rocket Revolt structure deck, try saying that's 5 times fast off the cuff. Return of the Dragon Lords just can't get a break on having a cheap version, but also Rocket Recharger, which is in this, I believe, only is around $5, and then you have Quick Launch bought out. The structure decks themselves bought out to a large degree, and this is why I don't mind seeing stuff like structure deck cards reprinted in the Megatins with rarity upgrades. I applaud that move. I just don't applaud taking out the singles and throwing them to other sets super short printed and playing your own secondary market, Konami. But when it comes down to these cards, man, they are starting to move very fast up, and I think a lot of people just like having Dragon Link on the back burner, and in pile decks, you could think about it as an engine, even moving forward depending on your deck. Quick Launch, though, still pretty affordable, under $10 for the secret rares versus the common 5. Just get yourself a secret rare at this point over those. Ghost Ogre is being talked about a lot in this format. I think it was MST that actually had a poll on Twitter that was asking, would you play Imperm or Ogre in this format? And a lot of people choosing Ogre, and money also moves where the mouth is on that one. Tons of low quantities, tons of prices up, including the max rarity version of this with a market price now of over $200 and the lowest available at $250. Now, going through a couple other cards, Draglubion gets put across my desk way too often, almost to the point it feels forced. Hey, look at this card, it's up. Look at this card, it's up. And I think some of it's innocent, and I think some of it's forced. Again, we see a huge spike up here. Its playability is decent. It's used a lot in Master Duel, I've noticed. And one of the other pieces around it really does have money put behind it in the market, which is number 100 Numeron Dragon. Even its Dragons of Legend version have been bought out over time and up in prices. One of the top cards in here. And as this heads towards finally being worth retail, it is one of the top contenders in the set, and I do have to give it that. So, Draglubion, number 97, it's back up in price and going places. I don't know, though. It feels super forced, and I'm adverse. Sometimes it's just my vendor brain saying, like, if it's forced, how much backing is there really? Well, there are tons of sales, including, oh boy, we got them with the $40 copy, ew. But yeah, lots of people are spending $27 to $28 happily now, and I think a lot of people playing in Master Duel see it as a fun way to play Yu-Gi-Oh! That are transitioning into the game. Let me know what you think of everything happening with Market Watch today. It has been a ton of different movements, more so in the Rogue and Future category for today's Market Watch. And again, check out this set over on the Lego Yu-Gi-Oh! Ideas website. It's the Idea Lego website, but I want this set to come to fruition, and I want to see at least them hit the next milestone of 5,000 supporters by the end of the day. That would be awesome. It's completely free to make the account and upvote it. Thanks for watching, everybody.